Hi everyone, it's Irene from the Field Guide. Today I'm at John Burroughs Nature Sanctuary. It's where he had his slab sides, his home just off the Hudson River, and I'm about to walk into state land. And the reason I'm going to do that is because my old hunting buddy and I had a blind out here. It was an area on a ridge top. As you can see, this land has a lot of ridges, a lot of valleys. And I believe we may have left behind in all the chaos, maybe some nylon paracord and one of those very simple, cheap folding fabric blinds. So I'm just going to check and see if I can find the place. It's been a while since I've been there, but it's kind of bittersweet, and it's kind of like walking down memory lane. So I thought I'd take you along with me while I'm out here visiting John's place. I can remember he was alone in here one night, and he called me up and said, "I just got a deer, and I'll give you a call when I'm done." Well, I was about an hour away, and probably 15-20 minutes later after his phone call, it was dark, and I said, "You know what? I need to go up there and help him, because this terrain is not only an ankle breaker, but possibly a leg breaker." So I came up, and sure enough, he was about a mile in the woods yet, and it was long after dark, and his headlamp had crapped out on him. So he was dragging a real nice sized doe with one hand and holding his cell phone with the flashlight on with the other. And man, I was so glad that I came looking for him. That was not a good position to be in. Well, that's the ridge line over there where we used to sit. On the other side, up over here, that was where the deer stands were. There was one down here by the swamp, and there was one up here where the ravine got tight. And it was always a good place to hunt. And I just found proof of deer. There we go, right there. That's a good sign. That's a real good sign. So I'm going to head over to that ridge and see if I can find anything that's left. And if I do, then I'm just going to clean it up and pack it out with me. But boy, I'm still amazed. That was a while ago when I hunted here. And yeah, it was no big deal. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? But because it was so difficult to get to, it made for really good hunting, and we pretty much had the place all to ourselves most of the time, because not many people wanted to come in here and deal with all these hills and dales. Land of the sliding stones. Everything is broken up into little pieces. I can remember when it was wet here, you would step on a rock, say like that, and the whole thing, about the size of a garbage can lid, would slide out from under you. Your next step, same thing would happen. It was like, it was bizarre to walk in here. The whole place, it feels like it's still falling apart because it's constantly moving. Well, I found where the eastern tree stand used to be. And it was right in that tree, right there. And the reason I know is because this stone structure right behind it marks the boundary for the Burroughs property before it becomes state. And, I mean, look at this. This is about 2 miles from the parking area, going south from here, southeast. Wow, we did a lot of humping through here. I can remember dragging deer up through here. And then it wasn't over. You had to go back down into another deep valley and then back up another hill. Boy. Yep. That's small game. There's nothing going on in this part of New York State right now. Or it could be a private... Oh, look at that. Squirrel. No, that's a dog. Or a cat that came through here. Probably a fox. I think that's somebody's firing range, so I'm going to head off in this direction anyways. because, geez, look at this. The tree was getting so big that we had to stack up rocks to get the tree climber up. But that was a good spot right there. Well, okay, so I'm going to head over to this ridge, and that's where we just had a ground blind, and we just used to sit. So I'm going to see if anything's left behind, because a lot's been forgotten over the last year or so. Now this is along the ridge where the ground blind would have been, and I've walked up and down here probably 4 times already, and there's been a lot of damage. A lot of trees have come down. We've had some really bad storms since the last time I was up here, so it's possible the ledge that we sat on was destroyed by a toppled tree. And that's about the only thing I could think of, because not much further in this direction is the John Burroughs Sanctuary, so that would be like public property. And a lot of people would be hiking through, so we wouldn't have gotten too close to that. And the sign should be showing up, showing the border. I haven't seen any yet, but yeah, I think a tree came down and took off the ledge, because it was a ledge. It was just perfect enough for us to sit there, and it was almost like a little scoop in the side of the hillside. I think maybe it collapsed. That's too bad. It was a great place to hunt. Got some pond skaters down there. That's how I learned, skating on a pond. It wasn't easy, but it made you like a ninja ice skater. I hope it didn't bore you too much while I was looking for ghosts in the woods. But at least I did find one remnant of the past, and it is somewhat sentimental to me, so I'm glad I found it. You know, the one on the cliff, the ground blind that we used to use, that seems to be all but gone. But I hope you had a good time, and everyone take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.